Hello my friends, it's Ranger Russ from the Meigs Nature Center. I'm coming to you from the parking lot today at a very chilly Hammonasset Beach State Park. It is chilly, but the park is open and we do have some visitors here, and I would encourage you to come out and enjoy any one of Connecticut's state parks. We have some fantastic parks, and this is a great time of year to visit. There aren't going to be as many people visiting, but there are still lots of things to look at. The birds have begun migrating, so we have started to see harriers in the park. Some of the birds are leaving, but this is a great time to see birds that are passing through. All of our state parks have some sort of migration. Here at Hammonasset, we're really looking for the falcons, the peregrine falcons, the merlins. They're really fun birds. They're tough to see. They don't stick around very long, so they're really just passing through. But if you can get out and visit one of Connecticut's state parks, you always have a chance of seeing something very rare and unusual. Now, today's program is going to be a little bit different, and that's why I have the wireless mic again. Hopefully you can hear this okay. But today we're going to be learning about an atlatl. Now, coming up in October, for the first 4 Saturdays in October right now, I don't think we have anything else planned, but that may change for Saturdays. But for the first 4 Saturdays, 10:30, we're going to be doing a special program focusing on Native American experiences. And those programs, the first Saturday in October, is going to be an eagle program with a couple of other birds. And then we're going to do an atlatl program. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the atlatl. Many people probably haven't even heard the word atlatl and have a hard time pronouncing it. ATL, atlatl. Some people call it atlatl. I think it's pronounced atlatl, but call it whatever you want. That's what we're going to learn about today. Now, I'm going to encourage anyone, please ask questions at any time. And I see people are already doing it. Thank you for putting up where you're messaging from. I see Marlboro and Michigan, and Uncasville. So hello to you. All right, so atlatl. This is an atlatl. For its time, it was the most advanced weapon around. These are the spears or darts that are thrown by an atlatl. Now, if you have played tennis or even baseball or used a hammer, you've used a similar technology to that of the atlatl. It's basic physics. The longer distance you have, the more force you can create. Okay, so throwing a spear like so with just your hand, it works pretty well, but you can create more force, more energy involved if you can extend the reach of your arm and throw that spear like this. Okay? So that's the principle of the atlatl. It gives you more leverage when throwing a dart or a spear. Now, these have been around since long before there were bow and arrows. Thousands of years before there were bow and arrows, they came up with this idea. And this was such a great technology. This technology, as far as weaponry, lasted the longest of any advanced weapon technology. So everything else becomes outdated in a few hundred years. This lasted for thousands of years. And even after the bow and arrow were invented, they still used these. So there was overlap. While the bow was being developed into a more advanced technique, this was still a better hunting technique than the bow and arrow. Do we have any questions? Looks like a bow. So let's go into the parts here. A basic atlatl would have just been a stick with a little knob on the end. Over the years, it was advanced but the principle is still exactly the same. You have a handle, you have your arm, you have your receiver that the dart rests in. I've done this with just a stick and a little branch that came off. You cut the stick off at length, cut the branch off, and hold the atlatl, and it works just fine. Hold the dart. This is a holder for the dart. So these are the atlatls we give to kids because it's much easier. You do not have to hold on to the dart. It holds the dart for you. Okay? Now, I'm going to throw in this direction. Hopefully you'll be able to see it land, and then I'll try throwing one at you guys, or, well, at the camera. All right, here we go. I don't know if you can see how far that went, but that was with no effort whatsoever. It just took off. If I were to throw one of these by hand, I doubt we're going to be able to go near as far. I'm going to throw as hard as I can, like this. All right, it fell about 10 feet short of using the atlatl with no effort. Now, I have been able to throw one of these over the length of a football field. That's about the maximum I can do, is just over a football field. That's with a lot of effort. With no effort, if you're shooting at a target, it's pretty easy to hit a target where I just threw the dart by hand. So again, we'll do it again. I'll do it this way so you can see how it works. Actually, we'll move back. I like to take a couple of steps as I throw. Just step into it. It's kind of like pitching a baseball. You want to step into it and throw. The same thing with the atlatl. Step into it, rotate your hips, rotate your shoulders. You get a lot more momentum. And then just like a bow and arrow, it's a matter of consistency. If you repeat the same motion over and over again, you become far more accurate. So we'll just do a little example here. Okay. It really is just a simple, smooth motion. And it's also kind of like golf. I know that, at least my experience with golf, let's say that. When you try and hit the ball as hard as you can, chances are it's not going to work very well. When you relax and just make sure you get your form correct, you're going to end up with a much better result. So we're going to do another one in that direction, and then I'll grab the darts back and we'll answer some questions. So going in this direction. Okay, really easy fluid motion. Everybody hold tight, post any questions if you have them. Did the bear come to lick the tree the other night? I did not see a bear or any signs of a bear, talking about my evening program the other night. All right, let me run and grab the atlatls, or the darts. Okay, hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm a little far away from my microphone. All right, so the other day I did an evening program where I put some stale beer, rotten bananas, and sugar on a tree. You mix it into a paste and rub it on a tree to attract moths. It was a little chilly for moths, so I didn't really get very many, but people speculated that we might attract a bear or some other animal, and I didn't really attract anything. I did go out and check it a couple of other times, about every half hour until 10:30 or so, and got a couple of moths, but they would not stick around as soon as I put the flashlight on them. In the past, when this program has been done, when you put a flashlight on the moth, they just lay their wings flat and depend on their camouflage and don't fly away, so you get to look at them. The species of moth that I was getting the other night was flying away so fast I couldn't even tell what it was. It was a mid-size moth. Okay, any questions about our atlatl? Oh, now I can see the question. Violin bow. It does look like a violin bow without the bowstring on it. Okay, so I'm gonna do another throw. There's people around here, so I'm gonna I was gonna show you how to do a distance throw, but a car has parked over there and there's people over there, so we're not gonna do any distance throws right now. A distance throw though is the same thing. Now, I've seen people, the record is like 3 football fields, 300 yards. Someone can throw one of these. I can't do that. But I've seen the Atlatls that they use to do those great distance throws. The longer the Atlatl itself is, it gives you more momentum. And then the shorter and lighter the dart is, it flies the farthest. So the guys that I've seen that are throwing it, massive distances pretty easily, they are throwing, the dart is about the same length as the Atlatl, and it's just a very thin dart, and they don't put any fletchings on it either. Just the force keeps it going in a straight line. All right. What is that called? This is the Atlatl, and this is a dart. Dart or spear, usually we refer to them as darts though. Okay, we're going to just do another simple demo of a throw. Oh, the people left over there. So I'm going to throw it in this direction. Actually, I think that car is turning, so any other questions? Megan says that's really cool. Now, normally we would have Atlatl demonstrations at the park where you could come down and throw an Atlatl. And for the program that we're doing in October, Gary Nulf, who will be our presenter for that program, he has a woolly mammoth target. So hopefully he'll bring that, and you'll see us throwing at an actual woolly mammoth target. Today I'm just tossing it out into the grass here. So I'm going to throw this one a little bit harder, give you a little idea how far it goes. Not going to throw as hard as I can because I don't want to have to fish it out of the salt marsh. All right, I'm going to stand on this side this time so you can see the momentum and movement of how this works. Let's see, am I on the camera there? All right, looks good. Okay, that was a decent effort. I didn't put a lot of height on it so it wouldn't go too far. But you can see it's pretty easy to make this dart go. I'd say that's 50 yards away right now. I don't know if you guys can see where it's stuck in the ground over there. I'll do another one. Please put up questions because I don't see any yet. I would love to answer people's questions about the Atlatl. All right. That one went a little further. I'd say another 5 feet onto the end of the first throw. Okay, any questions? I'm not seeing any new questions. I want to remind everybody, you can see these programs happen Tuesday through Friday at 11 o'clock on Facebook Live. If you miss a program live, you can see them on our YouTube channel, Meigs Point Nature Center YouTube channel. You can also visit meigspointnaturecenter.org, the virtual learning center, to see these videos plus additional educational materials that go along with it. So we might have a vocabulary list, maybe some word searches. There's some interesting fun facts about the subjects as well. All right, let's see. Looks like we've got some comments here. Who used this to hunt and what geographical areas? Great question. And then, did all Indian tribes use this tool? how much does it cost? All right, let's do how much does it cost first. This one was made by a school teacher, and they donated it to us. So I don't know how much an Atlatl like this costs. This is a kit that you can buy. I really couldn't tell you how much they cost. I did look at them at one of the Hammonasset festivals one year, but I don't remember how much they were. But you can make your own. It's very simple, and I would say just make your own. As far as where they were used in the geographical area and whether the local tribes used them, so the Paleo Indians, before there were the native tribes that we all recognize the names of, like the Hammonasset and the Mohegan, they did use these in this area. These have been found on every continent. I think the exception was there were very limited numbers found in Africa. But they were used by Europeans, South Americans, North Americans, Australia, Asia, all over the world. These have been developed. And they believe that they were developed independently because there's enough of a variety and difference and times and distances. I think the common belief now is that they were developed independently in different locations. And what they would have hunted, again, if they're hunting primitive, that's why I don't like calling it primitive technology. This is early technology, but this was not primitive technology. This was the most advanced technology of its time, and for a very long time. But they would have hunted woolly mammoth, elk, pretty large prey. Now, you're not going to be able to bring a mammoth down with just one or two of those darts. So you would have to hunt as a tribe, work together as a hunting band in order to bring down a large prey item like a mammoth or even the giant elk that used to live in this area. All right, any other questions? Mongolians. Yes, I believe the Mongolians used these as well. So, except for some places in Africa, they believe that they were used all over the world. Any other questions? All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really hope you're enjoying these programs. I'm having a blast doing them. What other job do I get to go out and throw a few darts around? It is a little chilly this morning here at Hammonasset, but it's a beautiful day to be out in the park or any of our parks. So again, I'm going to encourage you to get out and visit the parks. Visit the Virtual Learning Center. We have connections to the other DEP facilities like Goodwin Conservation Center, Dinosaur State Park, and the Kellogg Environmental Center. You can find out all the things that they're up to, all the special programs they're doing. You can find out from Dinosaur about the things that were being hunted by these. Even though they focus on dinosaurs, which were long before these, they can give you more information about the mammoths as well. Can you throw from horseback? Good question. I think it would be possible. But my understanding is most of the hunting that was done with an Atlatl was done on foot. So it's definitely possible to throw it from horseback. But I have not heard of any cultures that used horses and the Atlatl together. These videos are so interesting and entertaining. I'm glad people are finding them entertaining. That helps you learn, I always think. So if I can be entertaining and teach at the same time, that's a successful day for me. All right, so I want to thank everybody for tuning in this morning. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. I'm going to be visiting a very special state park with a waterfall. That's all I'm going to tell you for tomorrow's visit. And then I'm going to be taking a few days up in New Hampshire, so I will miss you then. I'll try and do some programs from New Hampshire if I can find some subjects to do programs up there. was it used more for hunting or war? So it was used a little bit in both for war and hunting, but primarily this was a hunting tool. Even the bow and arrow, it was primarily a hunting tool. It was used during war, but most cultures considered a bow to be a hunting tool. It didn't really come on as a weapon until much later into the bow. And the bow didn't actually last as a weapon very long. It was a hunting tool, not a weapon, for a very long period of time. All right. I love everybody's questions. If you have made or used an Atlatl, I would love to see or hear about that experience. So you can send us a message, send us a picture. Maybe if you've made an Atlatl yourself, that may be a challenge, you think, but it's not really that hard to make a basic Atlatl. I would love to see everyone try and make an Atlatl, and then during our October program, you can message me and tell me about it. And you might even be able to put up a picture about how your Atlatl went and how much fun you had using it, because it's a lot of fun to make it and then learn how to throw it. All right, until tomorrow, this is Ranger Russ from the Meigs Point Nature Center signing off.